Facebook is going to make your brain into a computer. AI can predict heart attacks better than doctors. And Canada upholds net neutrality. Today is April 25th, and this is the Innovation Report. Hey everyone, welcome to the Innovation Report. I'm Najeeb Khan, and you're watching the 7th episode on this Tuesday, April 25th. Now, in the past week, a lot of things have happened, and I can't wait to get started. So, let's dive right in. Alright, let's start off with energy first. Saudi Arabia is committing $50 billion to develop 30 wind and solar projects in the next 10 years. The kingdom is the largest exporter of crude oil, and it's planning by 2023 to produce 10% of its power from renewable resources. So right now it's seeking bid to build the 700 megawatts of capacity in the first round. Since the cost of solar energy has dropped 17% worldwide, and it's going to continue dropping, this is going to dramatically improve the capacity that these nations are going to be able to develop. Now, if you look at 2015, the costs are 23% than compared to 2016. So this is just going to keep on escalating and being much more cheaper, similar to Moore's law. And as the price drops, the sales increase. If you look at the past 9 years of solar photovoltaics, sales has actually grown 30-fold. If you look at the US solar industry, it now employs 260,000 employees, whereas if you look at 2016, California added 100,000 solar jobs since then, with a 1/3 increase over 2015. With the higher increase of jobs, it allows the industry to thrive. And at the same time, if you compare it to India sets a record for the lowest price for solar power in a competitive auction with a US 5 cents per kilowatt hour. Next up, let's talk about a water harvester. Sticking with the theme of energy and resources, MIT scientists have developed a water harvester that actually pulls water out of desert air. Now, if you ever have been in dry or poor parts of the globe where there isn't much rainfall, getting water or access to clean water is a difficult thing. So this water harvester is able to pull almost 3 liters of water within 24 hours. Through this water harvester, which can only be powered, or rather it only needs the sunlight to work, is super effective in this dry remote testing. They hope to use this and bring this across poor parts of the world where in desert climates there isn't access to clean water readily available. Alright, next let's talk about advertising. Burger King becomes the first company to trigger virtual assistants for commercial gain. Now, if you look at Google's Home virtual assistant platform, or rather product, what it allows you to do is just say, okay, Google, and ask a question. But what Burger King was able to do was have that phrase within the commercial itself, and thereby using the virtual assistant or triggering it for the commercial and to continue the commercial after it ended. So this becomes the first time a company has done this in this novel way. Alright, next up, let's talk about apps. So Google's Areo, it's a new app to schedule home delivery that's available only in India. Now, what Google's trying to do is they're trying to create the one app that can pretty much replace everything. If you look at Line or WeChat in China, they have that one app that can simulate a whole bunch of apps. So instead of us having Uber or a whole bunch of different apps, WeChat or Line has everything. You can pay your bills and everything in one place. Google's starting to do that with their Areo. Now it's first starting off with just home delivery and or home services or food services, but it's only limited to India right now. As Google tests this, you can imagine how it can be broadened out to different scopes with this new platform called Areo. Alright, next up is Snapchat World Lenses. Now, if you use Snapchat or if you don't, you might have heard about augmented reality. and especially when it relates to Snapchat augmented reality filters. Now, Snapchat is upping their game with what they call world lenses. This is a new type of augmented reality, which is unlike recognizing people's faces. What this world lens does is recognizes objects within the camera or what the camera sees and places augmented reality models on top of the screen. And this is a brand new shift which allows for a huge new revenue stream for Snapchat. Now let's talk about Facebook's developer conference. The F8 that happened last week had fantastic new product launches. One of the most notable ones is brain typing. Now, brain machine interfaces, or BMI, has been kind of going around lately, and it's a buzz, especially with Elon Musk launching his Neuralink or being more public about it. Now, what Facebook's trying to do is with their brain typing. So imagine having a key-sized electrodes inside of your brain and allowing your brain to type at 100 words a minute. Now that is what they're promising through this Facebook Developers Conference that they want to aim to launch by next year. Now this is an entirely different topic in itself, and I'm going to be creating another video purely on brain-machine interfaces. The other thing that was launched or spoken about at the Facebook Developer Conference was the skin interface. This is where you can type or rather you can hear through your skin. Using actuators, you can actually figure out 9 different words that you can hear through your skin. The other element that was launched at the Facebook Developer Conference, the F8, was the 360 cameras. In this case, it came with 24 cameras being one model and the other model being 6 cameras. And both of it obviously allowed you to do 360 cameras as well as capture sound. And Facebook hopes to license this out by next year as well. One of the other last notable things that came out of the developer conference is the Facebook Spaces. This is the virtual room where you can hang out with your friends in virtual reality, have selfies in a remote location. Now this is going to take interaction on a different level, especially with Oculus. And you can imagine how if you have different people, especially in a business setting in different parts of the world and you are working in a mining company, you can all have that meeting virtually in a mine, so you can not only see what's happening around, but you can also interact and move around within that space. So that is Facebook's developer conference main updates. Next up, health. Well, it looks like AI can actually predict heart attacks better than doctors, and it's more accurate. Now, what researchers have done is they tried to figure out, because over 20 million people die from cardiovascular disease every year, how can you use AI to actually predict heart attacks? So they started off with a 83,000 patient set of test records. And through this analysis, they were able to figure out how to save 355 extra lives. The machine learning algorithm was able to weigh in on 8 factors, some of it being age or cholesterol level or even blood pressure. And throughout this entire analysis, they were able to save 7.6% more lives more accurately than doctors. As we start to see more and more of these AI helping doctors, it's not really going to be ending up to replace doctors. They're really going to be working side by side. And that's where the future of this healthcare system is going. Next up is personalized cancer vaccines. Now, the personalized cancer vaccines were able to prevent relapse in 12 patients with skin cancer. Now, the vaccines are able to carry multiple mutated proteins specific to a person's cancerous tumor. This shows promise because although research is needed, it allows us to tailor drugs and medicine particularly, or rather in this case, the vaccines particular to a person, and opens up a world of possibilities that reduces risk for outbursts or reactions and better solution for the disease. Continuing on with health, we're going to talk about smart bandage monitors. Now, these smart bandage monitors would able to recognize your healing within your skin and report that to your phone. And using 5G connection, it would be able to recognize and give the perfect amount of information between the bandage, doctor, and the patient for the perfect treatment. Now let's continue on with this topic and focus on the brain. It looks like musicians can actually use specific auditory rhythms to change your brain. And the way they do this is through your brain waves synchronized to certain rhythms to inspire mood changes. Now, one company that already does this is Brain.fm. So I've been personally using Brain.fm and I found it effective in terms of concentration, because what they're able to do is offer music timed to the millisecond to activate alpha and beta brainwaves for mood changes. Whether it's to help you concentrate or to help you relax, it allows you to focus on what's crucial and adjust your brainwaves for that particular task. Next up is transportation. Let's talk about buses. How do you feel about buses? Do you use the public transit? Is it crowded? Is it okay? Well, how is it during rush hour? Or especially, how is it rush hour, or at least during rush hour for someone who's disabled? You see, someone with disability is going to have a tough time with buses, especially during rush hour. Now, this new bus called the Ollie is a self-driving bus that actually helps people with disabilities. And the thing is, using AI technology, it allows Ollie to talk to passengers, help guide blind people to seats, and even read sign language. Developed with Local Motors and IBM, this accessible bus, Ollie, will be sold and available by 2018. So this should help a lot of people, and I'm actually excited to see where this ends up. Next up is drones. How do you feel about drones? Do you like them? Do you find it annoying? You know, I personally got my first remote control airplane when in 2005, I believe, and I loved it then, building it. I haven't done it since, but the sport or drones has actually gotten more popular lately. You see, dollar for dollar, drone sales have actually doubled in the past year in the US. Now, the best selling was the premium professional drones, which is $1,000 plus. Now, that was the best sellers, followed by the $305 to $100 range, and these were the largest money makers. So as drones are starting to become more popular, obviously FAA, the Federal Aviation Authority, released a new set of laws to help drones, or rather drone pilot, to not interfere with planes or helicopters. So this is a good thing. Obviously, having drones is a huge benefit to a lot of people, especially if you are a photographer. You know, you can have fantastic videos, but it obviously causes a lot of problems. So I'm interested to see where this ends up going as well. Next up, let's talk about Canada and the government. As a Canadian, I'm actually excited for this new change, or rather announcement by the Canadian Radio, Television and Communications Commission. Let's go with CRTC for short. Canada's actually rules to uphold net neutrality, supporting a free and open internet. What they want to do is have the internet service providers be more fair and compete on better prices. So as a Canadian, I'm excited for this change and want this to spread across all the other nations, because with the internet being such a fantastic resource for everyone, boosting not only the knowledge and the goodwill, but also access to communication, networks, jobs, employment, a whole bunch of other resources, is going to advance society forward. So by having a open net neutrality, it's better for not only the government, but also the citizens, especially the citizens. That's it for the Innovation Report. Hope you enjoyed it. My name is Najeeb Khan, and this was the 7th Innovation Report. If you want to find out more information, you can visit our website, bigcreate.com. You can also find us on YouTube or iTunes. And for a special gift for watching this video, if you want a free copy of my upcoming business innovation book, head on over to the link below to get a free early access to my business innovation book. See you in the next video.